Both Dr. David Hinds and Mr. Lincoln Lewis were very critical of the coalition government's performance. Both men were giving marching orders by editor-in-chief of the Guyana Chronicle, Mr. Nigel Williams, a few weeks ago, much to the surprise of many political commentators and even some board members of the Guyana Chronicle. The Guyana Chronicle annual general meeting convened Wednesday, but before that, on Tuesday, board members Tabitha Sarabo Haley, Bert Wilkinson, and Karen Davis tendered their resignation. Ruel Johnson followed up with his resignation on Wednesday. On the sidelines of an event at State House on Wednesday, Mr. Granger was questioned about the matter. Mr. President, there seemed to be a drama over the Guyana Chronicle. Only yesterday we saw 3 of the board members resign since Dr. Hinds and Mr. Lewis columns were removed from the Chronicle. Your thoughts on what's going on?
Well, I don't run the Chronicle, and every editor must select, must exercise choice, must make decisions. And I have not inquired about or inquired into the right of the editor to make editorial decisions. I don't know if there was a contract, if the contract was broken. I don't know if there's been any improper action, but as far as I'm concerned, all I can see is that an editor does what an editor does.
The president said he was not at all upset at the articles written by Mr. Lewis and Dr. Hinds.
I'm a strong supporter of the free press. I'm also a strong supporter of the responsible press. I've said this over and over again. I've offered to support the Guyana Press Association in the educational work. As a politician, I welcome criticism because this helps me to correct faults and to improve the quality of the performance of the government. So I don't have any objection to anything. I've never raised it. I don't think anyone has ever seen me criticize any column. And if something is wrong, my staff will correct an error if something is factually incorrect.
Mr. Granger said, however, that the state media is not the private media, and therefore, he said whatever is printed in the state media's page must be responsible.
There's a role for public information, there's a role for public broadcasting, and we must ensure that the public, particularly through the state media, receive information which will help them to make decisions. So there's a role for public information. And the Chronicle is not Demerara Waves, it's not Kaito News. The Chronicle is a public information medium.
Mr. Granger made it clear that he had nothing to do with the decision over at the Chronicle.
I have not interfered, my government has not interfered, and I would urge that we continue to, we do on our part, continue to support the free flow of ideas. This is guaranteed in the Constitution.
Roy Den James, HGP Nightly News.